Hi students, in the last class we have seen about functions. So we'll see some of the programs related to the functions and then we'll move on to the next topic called enumerators, right? So now we'll see a program. So write a function that computes x power n, where x is any valid number and n an integer value. So this is nothing but if I have 3 power 4, what is here 3 power 4? It's nothing but 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. So this is nothing but 9 and this is nothing but 9. So the answer is going to be 81. So this is the answer I should get, right? So now this we'll see how to do without using recursion, and we'll see how to do with recursion, right? So now we already know since you need to compulsorily use a function. See, already I told you can do any program without using the function also. But if you use a function, whenever we want, we can call that particular function to compute x power n, right? Right. So now we'll see the declaration of the function. What is a declaration here? This is a return type. Since why I am using double? Because I can also give an point value, right? So here I have written double power double x comma int n, right? You can also use int power int x comma int n. The power should always be int, right? But here this number can be anything. Even I can have it as 3.4 to the power of 4, right? So that is why I have written here double, right? And this integral, the power value should always be an integer, right? So now double. Now here in the main program, this is only the declaration we have. Now in the main program, I need to get the number, so that is going to be of double. The result is also going to be a double. And I have int n. Int n this is for the power. So I have int n1. Now printf statement is just to print that we are using this program, power computation. Just it will print it on the screen, right? So printf enter the number. I am reading the number. So here I am using, this should be float, right? So the number is float. So I have to use %f, right? %f ampersand num. So here I am reading the double value. Either I can use LF for long float for double, or else I can just use %f, right? Printf enter the power. Now I need this value, so for that I am asking the user, that is going to be n1. Now I am calling the function result is equal to power of num comma n1. For this I need to calculate the power, so this the power value I am sending, and I am calling the function called power, right? So the return type is going to be double. Power is going to be the name of the function, the 2 arguments, right? Now here I need to return the double value. So here also I can have one temporary variable called result. Result is equal to 1.0. Now this result is different from this. Is that clear? This is a local variable of this particular function, right? Now for int I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. So what is the meaning of this? I need to multiply 4 times, right? The 3 value. So I am starting from 1. Since I am starting from 1 less than or equal to n, so n times I need to multiply. So how I need to multiply it? Result is equal to result star x. So first time it is going to be what? 1 into, for example, if my x is going to be 3. My x is 3, my n is going to be 4. So first time in my result I am going to have 3, right? Next time in my result I am going to have what? 3. 3 star 3, right? So in result I am going to have 9. Next time 9 into 3 I am going to have 27. Next time result I have 27 into 3. So it is going to be 81. So because 1, 2, 3, 4 I have completed 4 times. So this I will come out of the for loop, return result. The result will be copied here. Is that clear? The value alone will be transferred, not this variable. Is that clear? So the value will be returned. Value 81 is returned. Clear? Right. So and then I am printing the value using the printf statement. Is that clear? Right. Now we'll see the same program using recursion, right? And already I told you, whenever you are able to solve some problem into a sub problems, and we can solve the sub problem in the same way as your original problem, then you can do that particular problem with the help of the recursion. Now here I can calculate the power. See, 3 to the power of 4 I can calculate by what? 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. So I can able to divide my problem into sub problem, and then I can combine it and I can write it, right? So this is what you will call it as a recursion. Now let us see the same example here. See, instead of double I have used int. Just to show the variation, I have used int here. So int power, to calculate the power, int n1 comma n2. So this is the number and this is the power I am going to use it, right? So this is a declaration here, and in the main, int main, so here I have a base, I have a power, I have a result, right? Since I am using int, my result is also going to be int, so I have declared it as int. If you want a float number, you can use float. If you want to have a double number, you can use double, right? Anything, right? Printf, enter the base number. So I am reading the base number here. Enter the power number, that should be a positive integer. So reading that particular a value, and I am calling the power function, result is equal to power of base comma a, right? And then I am printing in this format. What format? It's nothing but, see, I want to print it at 3 to the power of 4 is equal to. So for that we have used this. Okay. So this is for printing base and this is for printing power, and this symbol to represent power, right? So return 0. Right. Now we'll see how we can do the same thing using recursion. In recursion, only the inside the function only you will have difference, right? Calling the function, declaration of the function, there won't be any difference. Is that clear? Right. So here I am passing, what is the value I am passing here? Base and a, right? So my base is going to be 3 and my a is going to be 4, right? So these two values are being passed here. Now I am checking whether a is not equal to 0. You know already the condition, anything to the power 0 is going to be 1, right? If you want, you can add this condition in our previous program also, right? So a power 0, if a is not equal to 0, because for recursion you need to compulsorily have the base condition, and this is going to be my base condition, right? We are not using the for loop. There we have used a for loop for I is equal to 1. We have started from 1, right? But anyway, there also you can include a condition if the power value is going to be 0, right? Now, this is a base condition we have. If a is not equal to 0, then what I have to do? Return base into power of base comma a minus 1, right? So now, this is a condition we have, else I am going to return 1, right? So whatever the value I have got, that value I am going to print it here. This is going to be the end of the main. Now we'll see with example how this particular recursion works. Clear? Right. So enter the base number. I am entering the power, right? So 3 to the power of 4. How this value 81 is being printed using recursion. And already I told you in the exam you need not draw this, right? It is for your understanding. And moreover, if it has been asked in theory question what is recursion, then you can draw this and you can explain what is recursion, right? Now, so what is a recursion? Base into power of base comma a minus 1. So we'll write here, this is a thing we have, return, right? Base star power of base comma a minus 1. right? So this is what I have to return. So now base comma power of base comma a minus 1. So when we pass from the main program power 3 comma 4, this is the first time you are calling the recursion, right? So what it will going to return? Base into power of base minus 1, right? So 4 minus 1 will be passed. Again the function power will be called. But here my a value is going to be what? A value is going to be 3 now, right? So now again the base value is not going to be changed. So same 3 into power of 3 comma, already I have 3 here, so 3 minus 1. Now my a value is equal to 2, right? So again I will come here, 3 into power of 3 comma, I will check here, 2 minus 1, right? So my value is going to be 1. So again I will come here, 3 into power of 3 comma 1 minus 1. What is 1 minus 1? 0. So with 0, if I call the power function, already we know the condition. If a is not equal to 0 only, we have to call. Else we need to do what? Return 1. So here my base equal to 0. So I will return 1. Already I told you in recursion, whenever you have a return statement, it will go back to the function from which it has been called. So this is the function that calls this, right? So what I will do? I will return 1 here. So 3 into 1 is what? Again it becomes 3. So return. Again it will go from where the function is being called. From here only I have called this function. So it will return here. So 3 here. So 3 into this 3 is what? 9. Again it will return. From where it will go? It will go to the function from where it is being called. From here only it is being called, right? So 9. Now 3 into 9. 3 into 9 is going to be what? 27. 27 will be returned here. 3 into 27 is what? 81. Is that clear? Right. So this is how this recursion will work. Right? Right. Now we'll see some of the programs related to functions and then we'll move on to the next topic. Right? Hope you have understood this power problem. Right. Write a program to find the sum of all array elements by passing array as argument using functions. So till now we have seen how to pass int value, character value, float value, right? Now we will see how to pass an array to a function, right? So sum of all the array elements. So in an array, if I have got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, I need to add all these elements. I need to find the sum. This you can do it normally without using function also. But if we use the function, how we have to write it, right? Now hash include stdio.h, right, header file, and here I have got a function. This is a declaration you have. The return type is going to be only the sum value that we have got after adding all the elements. Here this return need not be an array value, right? So int sum. Here I am going to take an array value. So I have to represent like this. Int square brackets comma int. Here whenever I am passing the array, I can pass the size of the array also as an argument, right? So this is my declaration, right? Now we'll move on to the main program and then we'll see the sum function. Now int main, I have got an array a and I've got the integer value I, and for storing the result I need one variable, and this is to read the number of elements in an array, right? Now printf, enter the number of elements of the array. So first read how many elements I want to store it in an array, right? So print the number of elements of the array, that is nothing but ampersand n, right? So I need to read this n number of elements into an array. So enter this number of elements of the array. For example, if I give the number of elements to be 5, then I have to read 5 elements. So I will write enter the 5 elements of the array. Clear? And here I need to print that n value, so I have got n. Now for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. I need to read n values, 5 values one by one. So I will write scanf percentage %d, use ampersand a of I. Ampersand a of I. Is that clear? Right. Now I am going to call the function. So what is a function name? Sum. And here I need to pass an entire array. A is going to be an array. While passing, I need not have a square bracket. And n is going to be what? Number of elements in an array. Right? Now, in printf statement, whatever the result I am getting from the sum, that I will store it in result and I am printing the result. Right? Return 0. Now, we will move on to the function. Right? Int sum, int b array. So, whatever the array I am passing here, that I am going to have it here. Int the number of elements I have. Right? Int j. Result equal to 0. I have two variables here to calculate the result, and this is for index variable. For j equal to 0, j less than n. I need to access element by element in an array, right? So again I use a for loop. For j equal to 0, j less than n, j plus plus, and result is equal to result plus b of j. So first time result equal to 0. Suppose in my array if I have 10, first element 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So I have a 5 elements. So my n is equal to 5. So I will go b of j. B of 0 is what? 10. So first time I have result 10. Next time what happens again? J equal to 1. 1 is less than 5. So I will have here 10 plus. What is my b of j? 20. So I will have 30 here. Then again I will go here. J equal to here. J equal to 0. Here j equal to 1. So when j equal to 2, what I have to do? 30 plus. Already in j of 2 also I have 30. So I will have 60. Right? Now in result I have 60. 60 plus. What is my j of 3? 40. So 60 plus 40 equal to 100. Now 100 I have in result. What is my j equal to 4? J equal to 4 I have 50. So I will have the answer as 150. Now j equal to 5. 5 less than 5, condition becomes false. So I will come out. In result what is the value I have? 150. The 150 will be returned here and it will be stored in the result. Now I already told you this result is different from this result. Is that clear? This is a result present in main and this is a local variable that is present inside the sum. Right? Easy program. Just to recollect, and you should be familiar with the functions. For that I have taken this function. Right? Right. We'll see the next program. Write a program to read any month number in integer and display the month name in word. What is the meaning of it? If I give the input as 5, okay, then I need to print the month as May. If I give the input as 1, I need to print the month as January. Right? If the month is going to be 8, number is going to be 8, then I need to print it as August. Is that clear? So this you can do it with easy switch case. Right? The same thing we can do it using function. Right? So now we will see how to do it with a function. Right? Since I need to return a month name, again it is going to be a character array, that I can write it as a pointer to a character. So the array is also going to be what? We need not pass an array here. That is going to be the collection of characters, a string. So that I am going to call it as char star. Right? So we already know that the array name itself will act as an address. So that is why I have written here char star. Right? This is the name of the function and this is going to take the month as an argument. Right? Sorry, the month number as an argument and it has to return the name. Right? Now int main. So here int number, I'm going to have a number. Char month, I'm going to declare a character array, right? Month array. Now here printf, just a printf statement to display the month. Printf enter the number. See, I need to enter only the number from 1 to 12. I cannot enter 13. Then if I write enter 13, then it means what? There is no month for 13, right? So scanf %d ampersand number. I need to read the number for which I need to find the month name. So here in the array I am going to store whatever I have got it from my function. So month is equal to, here f1 is nothing but my function, and here this number I am passing, right? So here is a very simple program. Just I am going to use a switch case and I am going to print the month, return the string. It's a collection of characters. So this collection of characters I am going to store it in a character array. So this is a collection of string. I can write it as just char star. There is no need of an array, right? It's nothing but a pointer to this particular string. When we move on to the pointer, you can understand what is this, right? Already in the last class I told you what is a pointer. Pointer is nothing but a variable that is used to store the address of another variable. So here the pointer type is going to be of char, and that is going to contain the sequence of characters, right? Now switch n. So here my n is going to be 1. So 1 means I will return January, 2 means I will return February, 3 means March. Like this it keeps on going. Is that clear? Till up to 12. Right? No need of separate return, because if this condition satisfied, then you are going to return it. I forgot one more braces. Right? This is for switch case, another one for your main program. Okay? Right. Now we'll see one more program. Write a program that uses a function to copy one string into another without using string copy function. So I am going to copy one string to another string without using the string copy library function. Already we have seen this, but anyway with the function we will see how to copy one string to another string, right? Right. So hash include stdio.h. So void, the function is not going to return anything, because whenever you pass an array, it is going to be passed as a call by reference. So void copy string character array. I am going to pass two character arrays here. Int main, right? Now char a of 100. So I have two arrays, a of 100 and b of 100. Printf enter the input string. I am reading the input string. I am reading the input string using getS. We already know getS is used to read the spaces also. Then I am calling the function copy string by passing two parameters b and a. B is nothing but my destination to where I need to copy a. So this is going to be my actual string. I am going to copy this actual string into b, right? Now I am printing. After from the function I can print the source string and my destination string, right? Void copy string. I have character D and character C. This is my destination and this is my source. So from the source I need to read character by character and I have to place it in my destination, right? And then I can return. If you want, at the end of this for loop, you can store the null character, right? Is that clear? Right. Right, it's just to copy the character from the source into a destination array. That's all. That we have already seen in the string function, but we have written it separately as a function here. That's all. Instead of using string copy, we have written, right? Thank you.